So good morning to all of you out there in Pity my Mama Jane. Yeah, morning. No one can give satisfaction. I hope you're having a fabulous day. Just an advisory, because I know those of you heading over there listening. The traffic department of the Royal Grenada Police Force advises the general public, and in particular motorists, that the Granatang Main Road through to Birch Grove is affected by an oil spill. Motorists are urged to proceed with caution. All right, so I saw that coming out from the Royal Grenada Police Force this morning. And especially with the rains, and there being as hilly and curvy as it is, we're advising all motorists to be extremely careful when using the Granatang Main Road, yeah? So there is an oil spill in the Granatang Main Road heading all the way through to Birch Grove. So Rex, yeah, Olio. Well, I know Rex has handled, but Olio, be careful, be extra careful. Water and oil don't mix. And even worse, if you have water, oil, and speeding, then selfie don't mix. Remember, you have to drive for you and the other person too, eh? Because while you might be driving all safe and doing the right thing, the person in the other direction may not, and then you end up in problems, eh? So those of you heading over the Granatang, whichever direction, remember there is an oil spill that is going along the Granatang Main Road all the way through to Birch Grove. It's already in the rainforest. It is raining today. In some areas, it's raining pretty heavily. So that water and that oil is not a good combination heading over the Granatang. I know some people who was going and head over Granatang turn around now and they're going and head through St. David instead. So be careful. My good friend Devon will not be in with us this morning. Every now and again, either him or me, we have other things that we have to sort out. So from time to time, you may not see one or the other of us. So he's not in today. Yeah? Nice, beautiful.
This is the land I love.
Saying a good morning to those listening via 94.9 out there in Brooklyn. We Noise Radio. Yeah, you can even get it on your various Apple devices and so on right now. Yeah, so you're getting Hard Talk on your smart TV and all your devices and so on. You know. Wait, give us a call and let's tell the people exactly. No, you're the first Grenadian linked radio station to do that. So give us a call, man. Let's tell the people exactly. Good morning.
Well, good morning. What do you want me to tell the people?
You was explaining to me where you could listen to We Noise Radio and all kind of thing on all kind of fancy device and thing. Tell the people now, man.
You make me jump out to that information beforehand, but yes, Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. As about a month ago, We Noise FM, as you know, Sheldon is same WeiVybz and Noise that I rebranded, merged the two of them under one umbrella. And we were just licensed for the new Skills satellite radio system. It's a new satellite radio platform that is out. It's been out for about a year plus. We are the only Caribbean black, or however you want to put it, station on there. It's in all the new vehicles, you know. So. And then also, that platform gives us the ability to stream via Amazon, anything Apple, Google Home, and all these gadgets. So you have a smart TV, you could listen or view us there. You have Alexa in your house, or Amazon, or the Google Home in your home. You just have to get the instruction, Alexa, play We Noise FM, or Google Home, play We Noise FM, and that's it, and it plays. If you have it in the car, you just speak it in the car, because the new satellite platform is voice activated. All right, so you don't have to touch your radio to go to the station. You just speak and the radio plays. All right, so we're also on there. And another thing is that if you're shopping online, which I found out about 3 weeks ago, a lady called us and she was so excited, that she loved the music, she loved the station, and she wanted to know how long we've been around and all that information. And then I get to realize she was saying things that I couldn't figure out where she was getting the information from. So when I asked her, I said, "Are you listening online?" She said to me, "Yes." And so I took it that she was listening to us via our website, which is still under construction, I may add. But she said no, to not just online. She said, "I'm shopping, and as I'm shopping on Amazon, I'm listening to you." So I was like, "But I hope Casey didn't put all this information, out there like that, because she's one of the partners in the design of the site." But something she said that made me ask another question, and then she told me, "No, I am listening to it on Amazon as I shop." So while I'm doing my shopping on Amazon in the department area, she went in there and she found the station in there. And then when I went into the Amazon app on my phone, we had no knowledge up until then that people were able to attain the station from the Amazon account. So while you're shopping, you're going to the department, you're going to radio skills, and all the stations are listed there, and you could pick a station of your choice and listen while play. One of the things that really kind of knocked my breath away is the day we got licensed. The gentleman, because when I started the application process, I speak to the same person all the time. It's like you have a dedicated person you talk to. So when I got the email, I was at work. I was like 2.5 hours away from Brooklyn. I was out on the island. And I got the email, and I was like, you know what?
Wait. For some reason, your voice started to go down in a tunnel right now.
Okay, hold a minute. Not know why.
Yes, if I'm having problem hearing you, much better.
I was out on Long Island, and when I got the email that we were approved, so I forgot I had a client in the vehicle, and I just screamed out. And then I said Grenada to the world, loud. And he was like, "What?" His wife was like, "What's the matter?" And then I explained to them, because they were already enjoying the music. They were listening to the station while we were driving from the city. And let me put a stick up in here. One of the things that makes us so exceptional is that, for instance, if I'm taking a flight let's say I'm leaving for Grenada now, and I'm in my car going to this airport. While I'm driving to the airport, I listen to the station. Once I get on the plane, I go on the TV on the plane, and I can listen to the station on the flight to my destination. You understand? So that's another thing too. If I'm able to drive from here to China, I can listen to the station. It has no end to the way you can listen to the station. All right? Unlike a conventional radio, once you leave out of Brooklyn, the station is lost. You leave, right? So when I said, and I told him, I was like, "Okay, you see, when I drop you guys, that's it. I'm done working." So the guy was like, "You said that as though you won the lottery." I said, "It's even bigger than the lottery." And I came in, called the company, and then the guy was telling me that we have to give it the first preview, So I said, "But no, that's against regulations," because I read all the thing. And he said, "No, we are giving you the instructions to do it." So I passed it on to one of the team members, and he said, "Do not rate it under 5 stars. 5 stars is the highest, and we give it a 5-star rating, And I was like, "Why? That's high. That's the highest." And he said, "Because you guys passed every test that I knew they put us through a rigorous test thing. And you see, every test we ran on your system, it passed as flying colors." And he said the highest, one of the things that they were marveled about is like every person that listened loved it. It's like there's no area where someone would say, "You know what, at this time of the day they didn't like the music, or they didn't like what's being aired or whatever."
They loved every aspect of it throughout the day, throughout the night, and he said one of the things they realized is like what you hear on a Monday, you don't hear on a Tuesday, and you don't hear it on Wednesday. The music is not repetitive like many of the other stations.
Well, wait,
So,
I've told you already, one of my problem with radio generally, not only in Grenada, but in the Caribbean in general, is that if you're sitting in your car and you're changing
Right.
between stations, you cannot tell which station is which unless a station ID comes on because they all song alike.
yes,
They all
that's true.
song alike. And that is why,
one of them.
it's important because you tune in, and
Yeah.
unless even if you're in Trinidad, because there are several Indian stations as well. So you still can't tell what station you're on just by switching.
Yeah.
Everybody's songs alike.
Yeah, because everybody's doing the same thing. Nobody wants to stand different. Nobody don't want to step out there and be different. They're all competing among themselves. It's a competition. And as I say to a lot of people from time to time, you got to believe in your product. You got to have a knowledge of what is out there that is different. And there's too much things out there that's different for everyone to be doing the same. And it's the same thing here in New York. All the stations are the same. They do the same thing. We have another Grenadian station out here, which goes by Star FM out here, 99.3. And him and I always have that conversation. That's Specky Ellis' brother, Spector older brother. I would always have that conversation because he's always trying to, this station do this, he wants to do it too. And, we would battle upon that line a lot, So it is something I've always told my team. We're not doing what others are doing. Because every time, and the fascinating thing about it, it's not our people. The people that ride that I am fortunate to have as clients, the majority of them are Caucasian, Spanish, and other ethnic groups, are a lot African. And every one of them, since I personally took over the programming, the daily programming. Matter of fact, today 4th of July, happy 4th to all.
I was coming to that.
As I'm sitting here today, I got up since 4 o'clock this morning, and I am continuing to reset some of the programming. And everyone loves it. They will always ask me, what are we listening to? And I will wait purposely for that. And as soon as they ask, I'll hand them the card. I'll hand them a business card, and then I'll explain to them,
But let me ask you this question, Wade. Let me ask you this question. What audience is now being exposed to your platform? How many people via Amazon, Google, and so on? What audience you're speaking about there?
When the day we got licensed, the gentleman told me, he said the scope of how far you carry this is up to you and your team. He said because as of now, as of this moment, you got licensed, your minimum listenership started at 60 million. The minimum listenership started at 60 million. So because I had to enable it, I had to go into that system and kick it off, set it live, right? So when I did that, he said, walk away for 5 minutes and come back. So I went to the fridge, get up here, went outside, just take a walk. And when I came back in, there were over 160,000 people listening in 6 minutes.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
6 minutes.
Wait, go and do your backyard barbecue later.
I have no time for that today. I'm just sitting here, bro. I'll be. As a matter of fact, someone just called me a while ago and said, a few minutes, as a matter of fact, they are all still. And it's like, listen, I know you guys have, I have to say good morning to Casey. She drove down from Toronto last night. She's here. She's going to be working all day today. She'll be down here for the rest of the weekend. Another fellow Grenadian who is doing a lot of amazing things out here. She said, I know Casey's in town and you guys going to be working straight. She said, just do me a favor. Make sure you don't sit behind this computer all day and all night because I'm not going back to work until Monday. So that is the plan. I've been up since 4 o'clock. I've been sitting here, and as much as I could, I will. Bro, I'm still on the high. I haven't come down off that cloud yet. I am still on that cloud.
All right.
So as of today, I didn't check it. The last time I checked, it was I checked on Sunday. we have nearly 500,000 people that listen in via the different platforms throughout the world, all over the world.
And they're listening hard talk.
They're listening hard talk also. All right. It is amazing where technology is and how far we can go with it. I must say, Grenada, thank you. Understand? That's all I had to say. It is a pleasure, brother. You do your thing. And we'll be listening.
Yes, indeed. All right, bro. Thank you very much and enjoy your day today.
Pleasure.
All right.
You too. All right.
Yeah, that's our good friend there, Wade. Yeah, that's a Monjaloo man. Well, one of the things he is a Monjaloo man. He's a lot of man from different place and thing. All right, but he's one of the things he's a Monjaloo man. So you realize hard talk is kind of gone way minimum listenership right now. And via the various mediums. So you're talking about Alexa. Those are you in the US, and so you know what I'm talking about. The Alexa, Google Drive, the Apple and Amazon platforms, and so on. You know the minimum listenership he's speaking about there is 500,000. A lot of people listening in right now and hearing about the island of Grenada. Yeah, the Isle of Spice. Yeah, beautiful country that you should use the opportunity to visit. Google Grenada. Yeah, just Google us. And especially our beaches. In fact, Google Grenadian beaches. Grenada beaches. And you'll see what we're speaking about. Or Carriacou. Carricou. Carriacou. Yeah, just Google Carriacou beaches. And you'll see the beauty that is Grenada. All right? You'll have the opportunity to come to heaven without having to die first. Just book a ticket to Grenada, all right? And we're coming up to Spice Mass. Yeah, Spice Mass. Well, you have to pay for all your ride. Coming up to Spice Mass. So the Soca Monarch preliminaries, they start tonight. That's going to be at the Tantine Netball Court. We hope the weather holds up a bit.
She say, help me, stupid. You always rode me old bus free already. Now I see you come back again.
Then continues tomorrow night, Saturday night, and completes on Sunday. Yeah, the big guns are out. When I say they out, I say they out as in they in, because they're going to be performing every night, yeah? Taking part in the competition. So, folks, those of you going over the Granatang, remember to be extremely careful. There is an oil spill. Rain is falling. The combination is a dangerous one. Please be careful. If you know your tire ain't good, don't go there. In fact, if you know your tire ain't good, you shouldn't go anyway, right? But if you know your tire is not good, don't go that direction. We say a happy Independence Day to all of you out there in the U.S. We hope that you're having a fabulous day today. See one of my friends there saying, all you don't cook oil long is the U.S. independence, not Grenadian. Well, the way that Grenadians show their independence in the U.S. independence is by doing oil down. You expect all of us to go up there and do backyard barbecue and that sort of thing? Yeah, man, you're getting red, white, and blue oil down. Some blue yam and blue dasheen and thing. Yeah, blue dasheen, that's what I call it, blue dasheen. Yeah, man. Some blue food. Red, white, and blue. So a happy Independence Day to all of you out there in the U.S., United States of America. Our good friend Leslie, yeah, I know you're down there in Florida. You'll be doing your little backyard thing. I know if you could find breadfruit, Leslie, I know you're roasting that. So you say a special good day to you as well.
She say Wizard is a very nice man every time.
Folks, at 11, we do not have a guest today, but there is a prior program that played that I want to play, and then we'll be coming back to discuss part of that. So at 11, we'll be playing a post-cabinet press briefing that went before, because the issue is still very topical. And then right after that, we'll be coming back to have further discussions. So again, remember the place to be tonight, the Tantine Netball Court.
we get in our scotch.
Me say a special good morning to my good friend down there at LL Ram Danny. I know you're listening, bro.
You have to pay.
We have a call on line.
Sheldon.
Morning.
Hello.
I'm good, man.
All right. Brother Sheldon, I was listening to Win this morning, just now. And the among the listeners, HARDTALK has. And Brother Sheldon, one of the reasons why HARDTALK has that great among the listeners, because see, HARDTALK is a program that, a very respectful program that speak the truth. It let the Grenadian people know and the world know what exactly is taking place and the growth and development of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Because see, the truth will always stand the test of time. And when you speak the truth and give the people the true information, this is what people will like to hear about the country. Because when people try to paint Grenada as a country that is doomed, the people get into the truth and they will get fed up with any program trying to speak in negative things about Grenada, that negative things about Grenada. But HARDTALK is the program that let the Grenadian people in the country and ensure the world know what is taking place in the country. Because we speak the truth, we don't speak fake. The HARDTALK speak the truth, and we letting the world know exactly what is going on in our beautiful island, the island of paradise. So, Brother Sheldon, you have a wonderful God bless you.
All right. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed. And yeah, we have one of the fastest growing economies in the Caribbean region. We have an extremely low crime rate. Don't take our word for it. Check with the U.S. government. Yeah, if you go to the U.S. government website, they have one there. It's the Department of State. I can't remember the department. But if you go there and you're checking on Grenada, Grenada's crime rating is very low. Opportunistic. What they say, we have opportunistic crime. That if you put yourself into a situation to get into trouble, then you'll get into trouble. They call it opportunistic crime. So you're safe when you're in Grenada. Yeah? We're not a failed state as some people would like you to believe. Yeah. So that's why we are on Apple devices, Amazon devices, Alexa. We're also on the Apple, Amazon, Google Home. Yeah, so we're on satellite radio right now as well. So not just terrestrial radio, as in 97.5, 89.5, 92.9 in Carriacou, and 94.9 in Brooklyn. But through We Noise, we're also now on satellite radio. And that's outside of us being on Facebook, where I see quite a few of you are right now. Good morning, Hannah and Jen, Christopher. Good morning. Hey, Antonia. Morning, you and Javon. Yeah, Francis, I see you. Linda and Dexter and Steve. I see all of you there this morning. Remember to like and share. Like and share the video. Yeah, like and share the video. Because in a little while, you know, the issue of oil and gas continues to come up. And I think it's important for me to play again Mr. John Auguste and what he had to say about oil and gas exploration in Grenada. Because there are many people trying to twist different things. For instance, we have Claudette Joseph continuing to parade around there and trying to use the veil of, I was not part of the government then, so I may not know. No, stop trying to use that veil. Yeah, it's either you know or you don't know. Because she's trying to claim that the Grand Bacolet facility was a project of the NDC. That's far from the truth. In fact, it's nowhere within the realm, same planet, same universe as the truth. That's in another galaxy far, far away. That does not exist. And she could provide no documentation, not a shred of evidence. I am absolutely positive. I'm giving her the opportunity to put it out via whatever means. She can provide not a shred of evidence to prove that the Grand Bacolet facility was a project of the NDC. You can ask the people of Grand Bacolet. You can ask the people of Mama Cans about that project. They will tell you the project was started during the previous New National Party before 2008. It was destroyed by Hurricane Ivan. The project started again And it was left to rot by the NDC administration of 2008 to 2013. And then this new National Party administration came in 2013 and restarted the project and got it to the point that it is right now operational. And operational to the point that other countries are now coming to Grenada. Other OECS countries and so on are coming to Grenada to see how that is operating. No, it's not perfect. There's nothing that's perfect. Yeah? But it is the best. And it is an alternative to taking young people and sending up to Richmond Hill Prison. But the NDC said they thought it was better to spend money on football. See it in, so we have it on tape. Yeah? So when it comes to oil and gas, though, there are a lot of false information being put out, a lot of things trying to be twisted, even in relation to the Grenlec deal. You've heard them saying, oh, Gregory Bowen gave one figure, and it was actually our next figure. The figure he gave is due to the fact that they had to buy a generator. And by the time they buy that, the true cost, the real cost of the deal was 6. They know that, but they're trying to say that he's lying. They can't come with a sensible argument. They cannot come with a sensible argument to counteract what he has been saying. So that's why they come and they try to push it like that. They say, oh, the deal was 11 million. Yeah, that's not the truth. That may have been the overall cost, but then somebody buys something from you for 11 million, and when they're buying it from you, they say, but watch, you're selling us this company, but we need a generator. For us to buy it, we need a generator. And you take out from that money to buy the generator, and by the time, what you really receive is 6 because you spent money and bought that. That's a simple argument. Yeah, so in the next minute or so, we're going to play that one on the... Yeah, we're going to play that program in relation to oil and gas. Mr. Technical Man, you ready on your end with it? Do you have it on your end as well? You don't have the video? Okay, right. But for those of you online, don't worry. We'll handle you all. But we're going to start that in a short while because it's important that you hear for yourself what the government has to say about oil and gas. Because some people try to give the impression that government hiding and government they want to say and this and that sort of nonsense. But there is information and we're going to make sure that we give you that information in relation to the issue of oil and gas. And we want you to listen very carefully. So we're going to go to that right about now.
The economy is heading for its 7th year of consistent growth, averaging over 5%. Unemployment was reduced by 20%, while debt to GDP ratio was reduced from 108% to 63.5%. NNP committed to the economic and social development of our people. NNP delivering on the promise.
Pleasant morning, and thank you for this opportunity to, irrespective of the weather, to throw some sunshine on the topic you just highlighted. With respect to the update, in the second half of 2017, the Global Petroleum Group, GPG, carried out the first ever exploration drilling in the waters of Grenada, and in the most prospective geological feature, which we named the Nutmeg. And you would see that Trinidad, one of the most prospective geological feature with respect to petroleum is called the Hibiscus Platform. So we have named ours using our spice name. So we have the Nutmeg Platform, which is one of the most prospective. And later on, you'll see that both the Nutmeg and the Hibiscus Platform will be linked later through some infrastructure. A year ago, in April 2018, we had the GPG entering into an agreement with the National Gas Company, the NGC of Trinidad and Tobago, signing that agreement, and I was present at the signing of that agreement in April 2018 in the offices of the National Gas Company. I should say that the National Gas Company is a state-owned company that is in charge of supplying most of Trinidad's heavy industrial sector with liquefied natural gas. Most of these heavy industries, they use the natural gas for their production and services that they offer, and the NGC provides them with it. They have special lines that come off the refinery in Trinidad that is dedicated to them, and they provide it to the industry in Trinidad. Now, this was based on the fact that the geological results obtained from the drilling showed that we had deposits of oil and natural gas in the Nutmeg prospective areas. Now, since then, GPG has been involved in planning to drill at least 3 other wells, because the finding of these deposits with the exploratory well simply reveal that we have it, but based on the tests that they have been conducting, we have to determine the area and the extent of this deposit. So in order to do that, they will have to making arrangements right now to do some at least 3 other wells that would define the full range of this deposit, and also it will help surgically to determine which would be the best location to put the production well. That location will be determined by the among other things, the pressure that exists in the source rocks that would make it easier to extract the petroleum from it. GPG has, and their new partner, they have been engaged in using petroleum engineers in Houston, Texas, to help to design an infrastructure that would allow the gas to be moved or transported from the Nutmeg field to the Hibiscus platform in Trinidad. We go across the boundary into the Hibiscus platform in Trinidad. The Hibiscus platform is already equipped with pipes and the relevant infrastructure that brings it straight to the refineries in Trinidad. So this is the work that has been, they have been engaging to be able to do that infrastructure to facilitate the transportation of the gas and hopefully also the oil, the other petroleum related deposits that has been discovered to the Hibiscus platform. I want to point out that all of this is done in accordance with the Grenada Natural Gas, Petroleum and Natural Gas Deposit Act. That is the basis and the foundation that guides petroleum exploration and petroleum development in the state of Grenada. In fact, the act authorizes the minister to issue petroleum exploration license or a petroleum and also petroleum development license to applicants who so qualify. And it spells out the qualification. You are interested in exploring in Grenada's waters, you submit an application for it. This is transparent. It is before granting that the minister has to publish it and it has to be gazetted. The law requires that. It has to be gazetted, published, that application, and you have to meet certain conditions for that application to reach that stage. And one of the qualifying conditions is that the company who so applies must, for exploration license, you want to go out and find deposits, it will give you the permission to conduct all the geological studies that you need to do, but you have to submit a work plan that spells out all the actions that would lead to the successful discovery. And more importantly, it must state or sum up the minimum expenditure that is required in the first year. That license under the law is initially for 4 years, so that every year, particularly with the application, it must come in with the minimum expenditure, and that company have to prove firmly that they have the financial capability to so perform this work before that license is granted. And in order to execute, to ensure that these plans and actions are executed, the law provides for the functioning of an advisory committee appointed by the minister. I have had the opportunity to chair this advisory committee, and in fact, the last functioning advisory committee is still chaired by me. We have 3 persons appointed by the minister, and the other 3 is nominated by the company who has successfully received the license, whether it's an exploration or a development license. The advisory committee is in fact the technical committee that ensures that all these activities are in fact efficiently and executed on time and facilitates what is needed to have the successful execution of petroleum exploration and development.
All right, Mr. Ogist, we have heard of the announcement and saw the signing, read the building of gas lines. Why was Grenada present at the signing? Not present at the signing, sorry.
Well, I'm not aware of the signing for the building of gas lines. As I indicated that a year ago, April 2018, it opened the door for that relationship with GPG and the National Gas Company with the signing of that agreement for them to cooperate in the supply of gas from the Grenada Nutmeg field to them. And I was present there when that is the signing of that agreement. I know that this opened the door for the building of the relationship with GPG and NGC. So with what you're referring to, I don't think it was necessary because a year ago, the agreement had already been signed and the studies are taking place for the infrastructure to happen. The infrastructure has not been defined as yet. As I explained, we have to do, the company is required to do at least 3 more wells to determine where that production well will be. And this is important for the infrastructure because that production well will be the point at which they would do all the extraction of the gas and other oils from there to transport it to the hibiscus platform so that it could be refined.
All right. What is the basis for the process that is followed in the development of the petroleum industry and the relationship with TNT, GPG, and other players?
Say that again?
What is the basis for the process that is being followed in the development of the petroleum industry and the relationship between GPG, TNT, and other players in the industry?
Well, I don't really understand your question, but if you have an estate and I lease it from you, and I'm a farmer, I could engage other services and equipment to facilitate my production. I necessarily don't have to come to you, knocking at your door every day to tell you that this is what I'm going to plant here or so, and I need water or something for it, if I understand your question perfectly.
Okay.
Mr. Auguste, in your opening statements, you mentioned a new partner with GPG. Would you disclose the name of that new partner?
Well, yes, I made reference when I was stating that they are planning finalizing arrangements for to drill the extra 3 wells. I don't have the exact name here with me, but it is GPG has partnered with a Chinese company who is functioning in the U.S. They're doing petroleum operations in the U.S. So they partner with this company in going forward to develop the infrastructure for the extraction of the prospects that has been discovered in the Nutmeg platform.
The act that you spoke about, when was it passed?
That act was developed in 1989, and I think subsequently it was updated subsequently. The Petroleum and Natural Deposit Act.
Do we have any further questions?
Morning. I would have missed most of it. My apologies for not being here on time. We've leased to GPG, but what is our stake in this? What is Grenada going to be getting out of this once oil starts coming up and getting refined? And so what is coming back to the state? What percentage are we getting?
Okay. Like I explained, the company that is interested in exploring for oil has to apply initially for an exploration license. Once that license has been approved, you go ahead and do the exploration or study, whatever studies you need to conduct, whether it's 2D or 3D for the geological studies to find exactly where you should do the drilling. Once that has been achieved, you have to submit a report that supports that. And this qualifies you to get what is known as a development license. Now, implied in both of these licenses, you would be assigned a certain amount of blocks or acreage of Grenada's maritime territory. And every year, you'll be required to pay, as spelled out in the schedule under the Act, a fee every year for the use of these blocks that you want to study. Once you have successfully done the drilling portion of it, and the appraisal report is submitted, like as we see here with GPG and partner, they're going ahead to develop the production well that would allow full production, extraction of these resources so that it could be marketed. So once that has been achieved, the licensee is able to market these resources, and they will receive revenues from that, and there would be an agreement with the government to that a certain portion of those revenues would be paid directly to the government from the marketing of these products. Now, in the petroleum industry, this is not something that is published out. That is an arrangement. It has to be agreed between the parties that sign it, that no one can independently go ahead and publish this. Even if you go to Saudi Arabia or Trinidad, you can't get it on the street. It's a standard in the industry that even after I, who have been working with one of these companies in the industry, I have a gag on my mouth for at least 7 years. I can't even speak of it because I'll be prosecuted.
Have we been receiving they've been exploring for quite some time now. Have we been receiving any revenue, any fees from this exploration license that has been?
There is no marketing as yet.
But you said there's an annual fee for exploration while you're exploring. There's an annual fee that is linked to the license that you pay while you're exploring. You just said that a few minutes ago. So yeah. I want to know if we have been receiving this revenue from the fees.
That's the basis to maintain the license. So we have been receiving it. Yes, because if you don't pay it, your license will be revoked.
What's the annual fee, sir?
You have to check the schedule. I can't give you offhand.
And it's been how many years the exploration has been, a license has been, can you recall, or how many years it's been in effect?
This was renewed in 2013, I think, when the government came into office. 2013, February 2013, if my memory serves me right.
So between 2008 and 2013, we may not have been receiving the fees for this license, the license? Between 2008 and 2013, were we receiving payments for the license?
I can comment there. Remember, between 2008 and 2013, the then government didn't defend Grenada's interest when GPG and others were sued. Therefore, no exploration could have gone on, and we almost lost all of that potential that you see now. So I just want to stress, yes, between 2008 and 2013, there was a lot more confusion going on in that as opposed to progress and potential with lawsuits that the government refused to defend, and that our current Minister Bowen had to personally find the funds to defend, not just him, but the state of Grenada.
Mr. Ogist, thank you, sir. I know you said there's a gag order. Corporate culture in the oil industry prevents people from disclosing the nitty-gritty of these things. But can you, being experienced in the field, and can you give me an idea of how these sorts of things are worked out? Is there anything you can speak on, examples that you can give us in terms of what a nation gets out of its exploration, its marketing efforts? What does the playing field look like without, breaching any confidences or gag orders?
Well, one, you get the rental fee, as I pointed out. Mm-hmm. Once you have production of the resource and marketing of the resource, there would be an agreed, the term that is normally referred to royalty, there would be an agreed royalty, something that has been agreed between the parties, so that a portion of that trade or revenue will be given to the government. And I should explain that most of this works like a balance, so that the company that made all the initial investment to discover and develop it you would find that the revenue would have a gradient leading mostly the higher the slope would be towards those that make the company that make the initial investment. And you allow them a certain time to recover a certain percentage of this investment, and that you will see the balance will be tilting in this direction towards the government as the years progress. This is normally the pattern that will happen with it.
Is there a standard for determining royalties, or it is simply based on the parties involved? Is there a particular industry standard, or it has to be between a particular percentage, or do we just decide, okay, we'll take whatever you give us if you decide 5% is what you think we deserve? Is there a standard?
Well, I would say yes. There are drivers that would determine that, because look at the market for the last few years. If you had money to invest, I don't think most of us would be attracted to investing in companies that want to do petroleum exploration in the last few years, given the price of oil. We would not be so attracted to invest in that. Given the price of oil being so low, we would not be attracted to invest in that. So you know what it means for someone like me who wanted to invest in that company? It means that my risk of obtaining capital to make such investment will be much higher. And this is a factor that has to be considered when you're negotiating the royalty. Look at it this way. I mentioned that we made a discovery in 2017 of petroleum. Now, before this, nobody was eager, before GPG, to really spend the millions of dollars to make such investment. This is not an area like Trinidad where you had background, they had discovery. But after this announcement was made, you would be able to attract a lot of people to come in now. Because yes, they don't have to face the risk that these pioneers faced in the beginning, to put down all this money and not sure if you're going to be able to find deposits that are commercially viable for you to recover those investments with it. So you see, there's a lot, the question you ask is quite relevant, but there's a lot of drivers that will come into that when you determine it. And of course, the time and the season will be a factor. Yes.
Just one more question. Why is it, do you just not recall the name of the new Chinese investor that has come on with GPG, or is it a secret?
No, it's not a secret. It has been announced.
I hadn't come across the name of the company.
But it was an announcement was made.
Can the minister or the permanent secretary assist me with that?
But if it has been announced, I think it can be easily researched by the journalist, yeah? Do we have any further questions?
For Mr. Auguste, we are all aware of the situation with Venezuela. I believe that Grenada had an arrangement with them in relation to PetroCaribe. Can you give us an update on PetroCaribe, please, if you can?
Let me speak to that. I'm glad you raised that question right now, because it affords me the opportunity to say that our thoughts and prayers are with the people of Venezuela. Particularly today, we have heard announcements of a coup attempt or so. We reach out to the people Venezuela as our neighbors. We've also recently heard of a boat between Venezuela and Trinidad sinking and fatalities. Our relationship, government to government, remains healthy. We respect the Venezuelan people's democracy and their process of democracy. We are not happy that the democratic process seems to have taken a turn that involves violence and demonstration and has led to the death of various people in Venezuela on both sides of their struggle. Our relationship with PetroCaribe remains strong as long as the government in Venezuela is willing to continue that relationship. We have expressed a desire. Most of the islands in the Caribbean have also done that, and our people have benefited collectively. So with respect to PetroCaribe providing LPG gas or any of the other arrangements, that continues. But what we do recognize is that right now, the people of Venezuela are going through, I don't want to refer to it as a transition, but they're going through a turmoil. And as such, we look and we observe, and we are very patient and understanding with any changes that may be occurring with respect to PetroCaribe also. So yes, there have been some changes and some issues, but we as a neighbor and a friend of the Venezuelan people are cognizant of that and look forward to amicable solutions in Venezuela.
Venezuela is in turmoil, it's in crisis. What has been the impact on us getting products? It has gone on seamlessly since all of those problems?
I think right now public statements are not, I will not be part of a government, and thankfully this government is not that way, that our concern and our public statements would be, well, are we getting our product or not? No. You will see that the public statements that have been made by the Prime Minister, and I will continue with that too, is that we have concerns for our people, our neighbors in Venezuela. And between now and then, we have understanding, and they have our support, the people of Venezuela. So to make comments about whether we've been receiving product or so, our relationship goes way beyond that, way beyond that. We are neighbors. Yes, part of being neighbors is a commercial deal that's called PetroCaribe, but more importantly, is the livelihoods, the peace and prosperity of our neighbors. If it were Trinidad, it would be the same. We have relations with Trinidad, and I don't think it would be appropriate for us to be commenting as to whether our private or public supplies from Trinidad are being interrupted or not because of a turmoil going on. Thankfully, there is no such thing going on in Trinidad, but right now, we are more concerned on a peaceful and amicable resolution to what's going on in Venezuela. And as such, the only comments I think we would make would be to that.
Has Grenada had any diplomatic discussions with Venezuela, with the Venezuelan ambassador here at Grand Dance regarding Venezuelan refugees? Are we willing to provide any assistance there? Are our borders open to them? Have they asked as well?
I am not aware of any discussions like that, but I am aware that we as Grenadians are neighborly. And we as Grenadians recognize when we were in a time of need, those that lent assistance. Venezuela and the Venezuelan government did assist us greatly after Hurricane Ivan in our time of need. We did not have that sort of relationship where Grenadians went to Venezuela to ride out the storm, so to speak, or post-Ivan issues, but Grenadians did leave and go to other islands in the Caribbean, as is happening with Dominicans and others who are rebuilding at present. So if they are Venezuelans that I think would want to ride out their current issues here in Grenada, I think like Trinidad has shown, we are neighborly. There are challenges with that. We are a small developing country, and as such, from a health aspect, there are challenges that we would have to deal with. But our borders are not closed. No.
Jared Joseph, GBN. A question for Minister. With the spike of measles in the U.S., you highlighted on what the ministry would be doing. Are there any plans to implement screening at the border as well, the airport ports?
There is constant screening at our borders. In fact, what we implemented about a year ago. It is covert screening. You will see that they are difficult to observe, but thermal cameras at Morris Bishop International Airport. So it's not a case of a nurse having to be outside checking everyone's temperature or so. Those cameras were donated to us by the government and People's Republic of China. They are in full effect there. Surveillance at our other ports remains in effect. In fact, there is regional ramping up of surveillance that continues. But yes, we are monitoring our ports for measles or any other disease as well, wherever there is a threat level.
The Foreign Affairs Minister is expected to attend a convention, I think it's the Belt and Road, which is China. Would Grenada be signing on to that convention or agreement where China is looking to develop parts of the Caribbean?
As a former Minister of Foreign Affairs, I will leave the comments for my colleague, but our relationship remains strong, and we expect to be participating as much as possible in the friendship that we have with the People's Republic of China.
My final question. Last week, the GUT President, Lyden Lewis, who have, on behalf of the union, offered an olive branch. And yesterday, when asked by posing a question to the Public Workers President, she is also willing to come back on the table, even though her stance is maintained that the workers have a constitutional right to pensions and gratuity. On that light, is government really looking or interested in going back on the table with the unions?
The government has always been willing to negotiate.
Grenada's economy is heading for its 7th year of consistent growth, averaging over 5%. Unemployment was reduced by 20%, while debt to GDP ratio was reduced from 108% to 63.5%. NNP committed to the economic and social development of our people. NNP delivering on the promise. Stay up to date with all that's happening with the new national party, NNP. Send us a message via text or WhatsApp on 405-8683 with your name, email, and constituency. Stay in the know with NNP. Get updated.
You're listening to Hard Talk Grenada via www.hardtalkgrenada.com.
Yes, folks, so there you've had it. Oil and gas. And some of them, as much as you play that for them, they'll just continually ignore what was being said. It's now 36 minutes after the hour of 11 o'clock, and we're going up until the 12 o'clock hour. We'll be opening out the phone lines for your calls. 440-7377. That's the number for you to call locally. And if you're outside of Grenada, 347-329-3101. This one, a selection by Rootsman Kelly for 2019.
Some of them playing games on computer, production time going to waste. We need better customer service here in this place. You lazy government or even private worker, I want to tell you straight in your face.
So realize now that those road workers, they've gotten some of their money.
And it will be
because some of the information was sent in. So right now we want them get the rest, and we want them get now. We want to wait until no end of month. We want them get their money now, all right? So whoever in the ministry had to do what they had to do it and make them public workers get a little money. And we know all they could do it more, they go handle. Alrighty. Nice. Beautiful. A reminder of that oil spill on the Granatang Main Road heading down to Birch Grove, so folks be careful, especially with the rains, be careful.
Take for instance, we have a case of emergency.
Remember the St. David Parliamentary Constituency Office, they have their luncheon that's taking place tomorrow at 12. Taking place at the constituency office grounds, price of the lunch $10. On the menu, barbecue chicken, pork or fish with salad. Drinks also on sale. So give them a little check out tomorrow. You're passing on the East Coast. That's the St. David Parliamentary Constituency Office. They're having that luncheon taking place tomorrow. That's July the 5th. Price only $10.
Who has done some human waste? We need better customer service here in this place, and it will be in everyone's interest. We need better customer service. Let's make it a general practice. We need better customer service. Just like tourism, let's make it everybody's business. We need better.
Also, the Inland Revenue Division, they remind various taxpayers of the taxes due and payable for the month of July 2019. As of Monday the 8th, your pay as you earn and withholding taxes due. So those of you who pay as you earn and withholding tax, that's due on Monday.
Providing a service, always put the customer first. Because without any patrons, your business go bust.
Gaming tax is due on next week Wednesday for those of you that game houses and so. Value added tax is due on the 22nd. That's the value added tax, and excise tax becomes due and payable for this month on the 22nd of July. On the 29th, corporate income tax returns due for businesses with the fiscal year ending on the 30th of April 2019. You need to have your CIT returns in by the 29th of this month.
Have respect for the youth.
And for those of you that pay personal income tax, it becomes due and payable. Corporation income tax and the annual stamp tax installments, they are due and payable on the 31st of July.
We need better customers. Just like tourism, let's make it everybody.
Persons are encouraged to file and pay all taxes on time to avoid penalties and interest. Payments can be made at the Ministry of Finance and District Revenue Offices or via wire transfer for taxpayers in the diaspora. Yeah, for further information, you can call 435-6945. That's 435-6945 or 435-1905. Or you can email them on GNDIRD, as in Inland Revenue Department. So GND Grenada, IRD at ird.gd. Yeah? Nice. Beautiful.
So Eric, Matthew, Gary, we all know, became a first working class hero.
11:41. Remember, folks, it's happening down there at the Tanti Netball Court tonight.
Sits in the legislature, but was found guilty of
It's the semi-finals of the Soca Bona.
so London took over the rent.
So the first group, they'll be out tonight.
Behind Mitchell, let the fella know we mean well. Let us be one happy family, live together in unity. He need help out there as we leader. Let's show him we love each other. Let him know that we're here to give. And the Grenada one blessed place to level.
Also reminding you all to be on the lookout for the counterfeit. Yeah, not just here in Grenada, even if you travel within another OECS territory, be on the lookout for the counterfeiter. Remember, one of the ways you can check, feel the paper, feel the money itself, and if you pass your hand on the where it have the letters 100 or 50 or 20, you pass your finger there, you should feel it raised, yeah? Should be able to feel the 100, feel the 20, feel the 50, yeah? If it's smooth, be suspect.
So let us put our strength behind Mitchell. Let the fella know we mean well. Let us
Also look for the security thread running through. And if it's a $50, it should be 50, and you're seeing a little turtle on that silver thread that passes through.
know that we get together.
You hold it up to the light. You should see on the left-hand side, you should be seeing the image of Queen Elizabeth Regina. Yes, you should be seeing the image of her in the space there. If you hold it up to the light.
Intelligent fella.
If you measure the money, it should be the same size. Yeah, if you find you have a $100 bill or a $50 bill and it's not the same size as the others, it's either smaller or bigger, be very suspect. Yeah, all money supposed to be the exact same size. But counterfeiters, they can't get it to the exact size for some reason.
So let us put our strength behind Mitchell. Let it
Except for those, there are some who have been, what they're doing, they're using the $5 bills, the lowest denomination. They've been taking them and actually finding ways of converting them into other denominations. That's why it's important to look at the security thread and all that.
place the leather.
So be careful. Yes, indeed. 440-7377. That's 440-7377. Give us a call. Yeah, the issue of oil and gas has come up constantly. But it's important as well that we understand that many of the young people who are graduating from school this year and so on, that some of them ought to get into the oil and gas industry, the petroleum industry. There's the University of Trinidad and Tobago, and they offer the only petroleum industry engineering course in the Caribbean. So some Grenadian youth should be heading down there, and I'm absolutely sure they'll get full government support to do that. Yeah? But before they do that, before they get government support, they must be accepted by the University of Trinidad and Tobago, and then they can bring their documentation in and apply, because if you're looking to get into the oil and gas industry in a significant way, and it has to provide jobs, the upper end jobs are going to be people who are into chemical engineering, petroleum engineering, mechanical engineering, and those sort of things, right? So we need more and more of our young people to get into those areas to ensure that the money stays here, that nobody from Texas have to come and run the industry, or nobody from Trinidad has to come up, or nobody from Guyana has to come up and run the industry for us, or that some of the people that are fleeing Venezuela right now, who may have as much as 30 years and so on in the industry, have to end up coming here to run the industry. Let's get some Grenadians, yeah, trained fully in the petroleum industry. The government can offer the scholarships. They can say, well, yes, we need to get trained, but it takes the individual to make that move. I think some of us like to be spoon-fed a little too much. So you, the individual, has to make that move. So the University of Trinidad and Tobago, right next door, they are offering courses in the petroleum engineering area. So folks might want to go down there and so on, but you can apply online, and once you're accepted, you take it from there. This one is out of St. John, Snaky Boy. One of his presentations for 2019, yeah. Also see the Scorpion is back, eh?
I went to my doctor for medical attention. Tell me what's the matter with my patient. He write a prescription with the recommendation. And the doctor say, exercise, exercise, one exercise. Exercise, exercise, one exercise. Exercise, exercise, one exercise.
down. The doc said to walk it down. Exercise, exercise, go and exercise. Exercise, exercise, go and exercise.
Yeah, it's a slow day today. Yeah, the rain seems to have eased up a little in the town. So if you've got to head down to St. George, it's about time, yeah. Head on down, yeah?
They take me temperature, me and have no fever.
I would have played one or two of the songs for the Soca Monarch preliminaries tonight, yeah, but I kind of afraid, yeah. Some of those songs, believe me, I ain't playing it. No, I'm not.
But they keep on telling me.
I won't. I'm telling you, no. I'll play a song like this. Yeah. I'll play one like this one, yeah. And good morning to the staff down there at the General Hospital. Hope that you all are having a fabulous day today. Everybody from the security workers to the doctors and nurses.
That's crystal clear.
The ambulance drivers, yeah?
Will do this, you will be in the coming year. Of course, it's just a dream. Reality have to turn. So the quest to conquer, the quest to achieve, it has now begun. So there's a move in the right direction, a plan well draft for execution, forward march onto a dream that now seems so dear. But on the road of execution, there are big stones and so much obstructions, and every bridge that you climb, another one starts to stare. Mountains you have to climb, but so many mountains in line, and the dream that you have now begins to slide. Attacks from a human race, spiritual wickedness in such high place, and a dream that was sweet no longer have much. Despite the rocks they're throwing your way, and some of the things bad mind people say.
Folks, we also remind you, keep our good friend Dr. Thomas in your prayers.
The spiritual deeds and wicked intention. Despite the missiles they out to fly, against your progress that's now so high, you will live and you will not die.
So remember the St. David, the St. David Parliamentary Constituency Office, they have that luncheon tomorrow. It's been a while since I shout out Shortman and Yvette, eh? Y'all ain't laying me know when I had the peace soup again, boy. What? They'll leave out all your partner, yeah.
A president in Donald Trump, a country turned upside down. What was an American, no American. Because of what?
Yeah, it's important for us to let you all know what's going on, huh?
So if you look,
that's why sometimes we're going to replay one or two of the programs that we've done before. Even though we're in studio, we're going to replay it for you to let you hear word for word what was said. Because it's important for you to hear from the experts. Because there are a lot of people that attempt to give the impression that they're experts and everything out there. I said, we have Miss Claudette Joseph parading there as an expert in relation to everything. Yeah? First of all, the story was government is hiding information from people. Government is hiding information in relation to oil and gas. They're calling on the government to give out the information until we said, and it's truthful, that the NDC administration had the same information and they never put it out. They respected the confidentiality clause in the document. But the same individuals are now calling on this government and saying, well, you all need to put out the information, They didn't do it, They had it. And then they're saying that this government is wicked or trying to hide something because it didn't put out that information. The agreement was signed prior to the 2008 general election. They have mentioned, the same Claudette Joseph mentioned that how they were attempting to renegotiate. I don't know who's the we because she wasn't part of the government at that point in time. And she's using that as her trump card, yeah, to say, well, I don't know because I wasn't part of the government. But that's the excuse that the entire organization is using. That they can't say because they were not part of the government at the point in time. Because they've stripped themselves of everyone who was a government minister. They've stripped themselves of that. Anyone who was a former government minister within that organization, that's it. They stripped themselves of them. So they come now and they try to give the impression, trying to twist things. Yeah, trying to twist things. So I'll say to Ms. Joseph, clearly, I still haven't heard what she said. Someone told me she was mentioned me on last week on some program and this weekend. I didn't even hear up to now. Because I've been having a torrid time myself, so I haven't had a time to sit and listen to her. But the bottom line is this, I can confirm that if she says the NDC were the ones who started the Grand Bacolet Youth Juvenile Rehabilitation Facility, she's lying. She's lying. Yeah, and I'll say she's lying. Not that she doesn't know better, she's lying. And the reason I'll say she's lying is because that information is clear as day to anyone that wants to know. You could check with Grenlec and see when they were putting in the stuff before Hurricane Ivan destroyed it. And when they put it in after. Yeah? You could check with them. You could check with the residents of Bacolet and residents of Mamacan and so on. You can check with the relevant ministries and so. It was not a project of the NDC. That's a lie. So let's just get that one out of the way. And she has various means. You could go on internet, put out your information that says that I'm lying or that I'm not truthful. You're lying. I'll say that clearly. You are lying. Yeah? You're not being truthful. And I challenge you to put that information, make that information public. You don't have to come here to put it out. Make that information public. There's social media. You can put it out there. Yeah? You can put it out on Facebook. Put it out on WhatsApp, Instagram. Put it out. You are on various programs. Don't just say you have it. Put it out. Prove that I'm saying something that's not true. Yeah? Just like you try to twist the story. Oh, yeah, it is. And you see there's a lineup of how they're doing things. Right now you see them trying to get into TAMCC. They're trying to get into different areas. And they think that politically astute people are not seeing what they're doing. We're seeing what you're doing. We understand what you're trying. We know very well what's going on. You're not fooling anyone. We can see. Yeah? We understand. But it's politics and you have to do what you have to do. So we understand where you're coming from with what you're attempting.
Attacks from a human race, spiritual wickedness in such high place. And a dream that was sweet no longer have much.
A man buy a car from you. When the man is buying the car from you, you tell the man the price of the car is $20,000. After you tell the man the price of the car is $20,000, he says, okay, I'll buy the car from you, but you need to change the engine first. Right? So you go now and you spend let's say you spend $6,000 and you change the engine. You get all the different bits and pieces and so, and you put in a new engine in the same car that you told the man is $20,000. So the man gives you the $20,000, right? And you now did you sell a car for $20,000? Is the true price that you really exchanged the car for $20,000 because you've lost the 6, you had to take the 6 and change the engine? Not that anything was necessarily wrong with the engine, you just wanted another engine in it. Is the price, really and truly, does your bank account show at the end of the day that what you have is $20,000? Because you've lost 6. So when you buy Grenlec and you say you need a new generator, but the price is $11 million, and you say, well, look, you need a new generator, and you take out money and you buy the new generator, and then they give you the money. Not for the generator, they just give you your money. They didn't take it at that price and then say, well, we will buy the generator. So in other words, that they don't say, okay, we're going to spend 11 and then spend the difference and buy the generator. No. That's all the man was saying. They're trying to make it look. But we understand why Claudette has to do that. Because the intention, she knows she's not going to come back in the town of St. George and attempt to run again. That was too depressing. So she's not going to attempt to come back and run in the town of St. George again. Yeah? What she's going to attempt to do is go either in St. George Southeast. So you realize they keep attacking Gregory Bowen because the intent is to attempt to run in St. George Southeast or go in the south and run. Yeah? But they're putting that heavy attack on St. George Southeast. It's not just Gregory Bowen thereafter, it's the seat. The last person they sent in the town and the Gaelics, where did they end up? St. George Southeast. This one, mark my words, there is an extremely high possibility that you'll be seeing them popping up in St. George Southeast. That, and only that, is the reason that they keep having to attack Gregory Bowen and GPG and oil and gas to try and make it look like something is wrong. If something was wrong with the deal, the NDC government had it in their hand. They had all the documentation that they are now asking to be released. And you never know, some of them may still have copies of it hiding at home. Yeah? Why did they not come out to the Grenadian people and say, this is what is contained in this deal, it is wrong, and therefore we're telling you, the Grenadian people, we want to pull out of that. They didn't do that. No, did they? They didn't do that. But now they're trying to give the impression that something is being hidden. So they were part of hiding something too then. Because they had it and they didn't give you. But you realize bit by bit now they start to drop the argument about it needs to be made public. And they're starting to quote things and say this is part of it, that is part of it, and so on. That's what they've come to now. So they're trying a different tactic, a different approach to attack Gregory Bowen and the New National Party. Yeah? But we understand clearly. You want to run in St. George Southeast, so you want to make it look like if something is wrong with the candidate up there. Yeah? So we understand. Understand the politics of it, my dear. You ain't fooling nobody but yourself. Once again. Yeah? Because the same people at St. George Southeast are the same ones you referred to as needy and greedy. All right? Folks, that's all the time we have for Hard Talk today. It's been wonderful being here with you. In whatever you say and whatever you do it safe and secure. We want to be speaking to and with you and not about you. Love each and every one of you. That's all the time we have for today. And there'll be more Hard Talk tomorrow. Yeah, but I don't think I may be here. But Hard Talk tomorrow for you. So enjoy the rest of your day. My name is Sheldon Scott. I'm out of here. Love each and every one of you.
Grenada's economy is heading for its 7th year of consistent growth, averaging over 5%. Unemployment was reduced by 20%, while debt to GDP ratio was reduced from 108% to 63.5%. NNP committed to the economic and social development of our people. NNP delivering on the promise.
Every summer, the Spice Island of Grenada is transformed into the Caribbean's biggest party, Spice Man. Come experience the warmth of our people, trending theme fats, the revelry, the pageantry, and why we are the Jab Nation. The Kids Our Future shines on August 3rd in the Children's Carnival Frolic and the Junior Calypso Show. 7 beauties take center stage as the Queen of Carnival is crowned on majestic Thursday, August 8th. The prestigious Soca and Groovy Monarchs are crowned on Carnival Friday night, August 9th. Enjoy the pulsating rhythms of the Still Pan at the Junior and the Senior Panorama on Carnival Saturday, August 10th, and Real Steel, August 17th. The March Gras crowns the Calypso Monarch on Carnival Sunday, August 11th. 2 days of frolicking in the Caribbean sun kicks off on Monday morning, August 12th, with the biggest juve in the world. followed by pageant and Monday night mass. The creativity and splendor of our mass parades on the road Carnival Tuesday, August 13. Join us in the Jab Nation of Grenada, August 8 to 12 for Spice Mass 2019. Many events, one carnival.
Another explosive celebration of cultural ecstasy has dawned upon us. One that every citizen, every visitor, and every nation has come to relish because of our unique carnival with its multiple diversity. I am Kemik DeGale, your 2018 reigning carnival queen. It has been a pleasure to share and embrace the warmth of your hearts. As we forge ahead to yet another immaculate experience, I invite you all to participate in the pinnacle of celebration on August 12th and 13th. Be amused by the traditional mass and kiddies carnival frolic. Come share in the harmonious sound of the steel pan, the sweet rhythms of the groovy, the frenzy of Soca Monarch, and the hard-biting lyrics of Calypso. Majestic Thursday on August 8th will be a night that celebrates beauty and encapsulates women power. Oh yes, our famous World Juve noted for our jab jab, our electrifying display of light and mass on Monday night, and the showcase of picturesque fancy mass. Let's dig deep within our roots and cultural awareness and run with building another spectacular carnival.
Hello, my name is Michaela Williams, winner of the Festival of the Arts Secondary School Solo Pan Competition. And these are my colleagues.
We are members of the Full Comanchero Steel Orchestra, your current panorama champions.
Having won 3 of the last full panorama competitions in Spice Mass.
We are inviting you to Spice Mass 2019, especially junior and senior panorama, at the National Stadium on Saturday, 10th August 2019.
Come and enjoy the experience, the excitement, and the skills of the players of the various steel orchestra.
Suzuki Pan Wizards,
Republic Bank Angel Apps,
New Dimension,
Panacea,
Melody Warriors,
Rainbow City All-Stars, Ranroy Pan Angels, Digital Florida All-Stars,
and of course, Flow Comancheros.
After Panorama, you can join us on the road for Juve and Parade of the Bands on Monday the 12th and Tuesday the 13th of August.
Spice Mass 2019. Don't miss it.
CARICOM heads meeting in St. Lucia to discuss pressing economic development matters. Details to this story and more in the National Report. With the details to the news for Wednesday, July 3rd, I am Rakisha St. Louis. The implementation of measures to enhance the CSME, an interim report from the CARICOM Commission on the Economy and the Situation in Venezuela and Blacklisting. These are some of the main agenda items for the 40th regular meeting of the Conference of Heads of Government of the Caribbean Community, which was officially opened in St. Lucia on Wednesday. Prime Minister Dr. The Right Honourable Keith Mitchell is attending the meeting, accompanied by the Honourable Oliver Joseph, Minister for Trade, Industry, Cooperatives and CARICOM Affairs. The meeting was addressed by the incoming CARICOM Chairman, Prime Minister Alan Chasney of St. Lucia, outgoing Chairman, Prime Minister Dr. Timothy Harris of St. Kitts and Nevis, and CARICOM Secretary General, Ambassador Erwin LaRock.
Progress in advancing the CSME must be on the bedrock of a safe and secure economy. Concerns about crime and security have a common thread throughout the member states. We have been making every effort at the regional level to enhance our cooperation and to put in place a security architecture to combat the scourge. An important feature of that architecture are the legal instruments which have been agreed, but which are still awaiting more signatures to come into force. Following on the Special Summit on Security this May, this meeting will receive proposals aimed at deepening security cooperation in addressing transnational and domestic crime. We must be prepared legally and operationally to defy those who are intent on disrupting our society and destroying our way of life. The threats to our society are not only posed by crime and security. The blacklisting of some of our member states and associate members as non-cooperative tax jurisdictions is a clear and direct threat to the economic well-being of those countries. Our member states have a sovereign right to determine their fiscal policy. Our compliance with the regulatory measures and standards for tax transparency set by the OECD, the recognized global authority, is being disregarded by others. The arbitrary impositions of rules by countries and groups of countries other than the OECD with respect to tax governance and anti-money laundering without meaningful consultation with the affected states is unacceptable.
Public investment and appraisal management, the focus of a 3-day training for public sector planning officers organized by the World Bank. The training highlights the importance of strengthening capacity among planning units in formulating ideas and proposals for government and ministerial projects and programs. The training will remedy gaps within the public service that have led to the increase in failure to implement several projects following approval by local and outside agencies. Lead facilitator from Duke Scanford Center for International Development, Fernando Fernholz, says the workshop places emphasis on the feasibility of projects even before they are approved for funding.
The objectives are to make sure that people can formulate projects in a better fashion such that the proposals that then reach the higher level authorities have enough of analysis and enough elements for them then to judge which are the best projects for the country.
Participants Siobhan Brittany and Camille St. Louis are confident the training will bear fruits in ensuring that going forward, better managed, viable projects and programs are implemented.
This particular training is geared towards the planning officers, mostly, and project officers involved in the various ministries to improve their knowledge and capabilities in the area of appraisals and management of projects and so on. We want to ensure that the projects that we implement are good projects and that when they're implemented that they are followed through the way that it's supposed to and that they achieve the desired objectives at the end of the day.
To ensure that the projects that are added to the PSIP are really feasible, viable projects that can be implemented successfully and so promote economic development.
The training ends on Thursday, July 4th. This is the National Report. We'll have more news after the break.
Every summer, the Spice Island of Grenada is transformed into the Caribbean's biggest party, Spice Man.
Foreigners from all over, coming down to Grenada.
Come experience the warmth of our people, trending team fats, the revelry, the pageantry, and why we are the Jab Nation. The Kids Our Future shines on August 3rd in the Children's Carnival Frolic and the Junior Calypso Show. 7 beauties take center stage as the Queen of Carnival is crowned on majestic Thursday, August 8th. The prestigious Soca and Groovy Monarchs are crowned on Carnival Friday night, August 9th. Enjoy the pulsating rhythms of the Still Pan at the Junior and Senior Panorama on Carnival Saturday, August 10th, and Real Steel, August 17th. The March Gras crowns the Calypso Monarch on Carnival Sunday, August 11th. 2 days of frolicking in the Caribbean sun kicks off on Monday morning, August 12th, with the biggest Juve in the world. Followed by pageant and Monday night mass. The creativity and splendor of our mass parades on the road Carnival Tuesday, August 13th. Join us in the Jab Nation of Grenada, August 8th to 12th for Spice Mass 2019. Many events, one carnival.
Welcome back. Grenadians on mainland and in Carriacou have been benefiting from free eye care clinics as part of the annual visit by ophthalmologists from VOSH International. The VOSH International consists of a team of volunteer opticians and healthcare providers who have been providing free eye care clinics to Grenadians for the past 7 years. The free clinic started on June 29th in Carriacou. The team then journeyed to St. Patrick, St. Andrew and St. George. Past the president of Grenada Rotary Club, Julia Lawrence, says for the past week, over 900 individuals were assessed.
The last few days have been very busy. Yesterday, they would have seen that it would have been in Granbra. They would have seen in excess of 300. I think it's 366 persons. On Monday in Satés, they would have seen in the vicinity of 300. And in Carriacou, they would have seen in the vicinity of, I think, 266 persons in Carriacou. So we've been very busy over the last 3 days of this project. The numbers have been increasing over the years. This morning we had a massive turnout here. We have registered to date, at this time we have registered 358 persons. We had to turn away quite a large number of persons because, I mean, there are so many persons that the team can see.
Services include eye testing and prescription of medication.
Eye testing, they're providing medication, they're providing glasses, they're providing shades if they need them. To the extent that they have the medication, they would get the medication. In the past, we have done surgeries. We're not doing any surgeries this year. There is no telling when next we would do surgery, but if persons are recommended, then once they have that referral, the next time surgeries come around, they could, yes.
Finally, 20 male residents of Her Majesty's Prison are now part of a new program which aids in rehabilitation and self-development that can eventually reintegrate them into society. The 9-month Adult and Teen Challenge program was officially opened by the Governor-General, Her Excellency Dame Cecile Lagrenade, on Wednesday. With repetition of offences by those who were incarcerated being one of the major concerns over the years, the implementation of the program is expected to have lasting positive effects. Her Excellency is contented with the launch of the new program, since the opportunity presented to make a change is necessary.
The rehabilitation of offenders is the best means of ensuring a safer society by providing them with the opportunity to reflect on and take responsibility for their crimes and wrongdoings, and also to prepare them for a law-abiding life when they are released. Rehabilitation will provide, among other things, access to many areas of training, affording the prisoners the opportunity to become employed after serving their prison term. Having and keeping a job with a source of income can change people's lives. It is only by prioritizing rehabilitation that we can reduce reoffending and, in turn, the number of future victims of crime. Today, I would like to commend the Prime Minister and the Ministry of National Security, the Commissioner of Prisons, and his staff for this initiative, which will undoubtedly support offenders, encourage them to do the right thing, and hopefully convince them to turn their backs on crime for good.
The program, which initially began in the United States, is conducted in 125 countries worldwide in 1,500 centers. Norbert Chanels, director of the Global Teen Challenge for Latin America and the Caribbean, expressed how happy he is to be a part of the Grenada program.
Your Excellency, Commissioner, Ministers, we are taking men who society said, and women, that you're not useful. But I know all of you, you have usefulness in your heart. And we're taking what society says useless and making useful men and women down the road. And I thank God for this opportunity. And we will be praying for you. We continue to commit our team to you.
Early rehabilitation programs implemented with the Her Majesty's Prison, such as Project REACH, has shown positive results over the years, with over 80% of inmates not being remanded to prison recurrently. The program is being guided by the theme, Putting Hope Within Reach. That story just ended the national report for Wednesday, July 3rd. Let's recap the top story. CARICOM heads meeting in St. Lucia to discuss pressing economic development matters. On behalf of everyone here at the Government Information Service who made this newscast possible, I am Rakisha St. Louis saying thank you for joining us. Until next time.
Grenada's economy is heading for its 7th year of consistent growth, averaging over 5%. Unemployment was reduced by 20%, while debt to GDP ratio was reduced from 108% to 63.5%. NNP committed to the economic and social development of our people. NNP delivering on the promise.